Good morning. My name is Matt O'Toole. I'm the president of the Reebok brand, and on behalf of all my colleagues who are here, I want to welcome you. We have a very exciting event planned for you. One of the things we want to do today is introduce an entirely new and breakthrough partnership between Reebok and one of the premier sports leagues in the world. But before I do that, I want to give you a little update on what's happening at Reebok. I think some of you know that we've been returning to our fitness roots as a brand. When we first began here in the United States 25 years ago, we were a brand that was giving women permission to work out, to sweat, to have muscles, and really inspired a whole generation of young people to live an active and fit life. And that's exactly what we're doing again, but in a modern and a little bit grittier way this time, embracing some of the things that we call tough fitness. And as part of that, we've introduced a new symbol. It's called our Delta symbol behind me. And the Delta symbol is really emblematic of our mission as a brand today. Our mission to help people transform their lives through living a fit lifestyle. And the three sides of the Delta each represent one part of that transformation that occurs. The physical, the mental, and the social, all being kind of enabled by living this fit and active life. And over the last few years, we've created a coalition of some of the most powerful fitness brands and fitness content providers in the world to really bring together this new form of fitness. It started a few years ago when we partnered with CrossFit and really brought this new aggressive form of functional fitness to the world. We've brought that a step further with obstacle course racing and our running business with the Reebok Spartan Race. And more recently, we announced a partnership with Les Mills, the world's largest studio content provider. And all of these are designed to really create energy and enthusiasm with our consumer for what's happening in the world of fitness today, which is people are working out in groups, it's much more social, it's much more physical, and it's much more aggressive. It really is tough fitness. So today, we're here to talk about the next piece of our fitness journey and really embracing a whole new group of consumers who are working out in an entirely different way. So take a look.
What do you fight for? We fight to be fit and to be strong. We fight with discipline and determination. We fight to prove we are in control, not just to others, but to ourselves. We fight to feel alive and to fight another day. There's a fighter in all of us. Reebok.
So amazingly, there's 35 million people already around the world who are training like a fighter, emulating the amazing fitness routines of some of the top athletes in the world by boxing or mixed martial arts or jiu-jitsu and many other disciplines to ultimately transform their own life and be the best version of themselves. So while there are the elite athletes who are training to win a belt or a fight, these are folks who are training basically to win their fight in their life to be the best person that they can be. So today we're particularly proud to be creating a whole new collection of apparel and footwear that really is dedicated to this discipline and this incredible sport of combat training. And so I'd like to now introduce to you our new partnership. So take a look.
Earning a shot is tough. Winning, even tougher. The only way to get there is the hard way. Train to fight. Fight to train. Train. Fight.
So Reebok and the UFC are coming together to create a landmark statement in the sport of MMA, and the UFC is the absolute best venue to do that. And I'd like to have Lorenzo Furtado, the chairman and CEO of the UFC, join me on stage, as well as Dana White, the UFC president. So Lorenzo, everybody here might not know the incredible decade-long journey that the UFC's been on and how it's really emerged as the 5th major sport in the United States, but also one of the few global sports that's today sweeping almost every continent.
Yes, thank you everybody for coming today. We're obviously very, very excited to be here. And you know, when me, my brother, and Dana purchased the UFC in 2001, 14 years ago, what we really saw was an opportunity. An opportunity where combat sports had historically been a significant industry, generating hundreds of millions of dollars over the last 40 or 50 years, big boxing matches that attracted worldwide crowds. Everyone from around the world knew names like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, and so really had a global impact, yet it was the only major sport that had no brand associated with it. Of course, other major sports, American football has the NFL, basketball has the NBA, baseball has Major League Baseball, so on and so forth. But we saw this opportunity to take combat sports and brand it and create a global brand so that when people around the world saw those 3 letters, the UFC, they knew what that signified. The best martial artists in the world competing against each other for the ultimate prize, the UFC Championship belt. I would like to point out that we have some familiar faces in the crowd. With us today is our women's bantamweight champion, Ronda Rousey. You could stand up for a second. We also have former champion and top contender in our featherweight class, New Jersey's own Frankie Edgar. And our current middleweight champion from Long Island, Chris Weidman. So, as you can see, the brand, the business has evolved significantly from when we started 14 years ago. As we sit here today, after starting with very limited or no distribution, we have major media deals around the world. We reach nearly 1 billion homes around the world, partnered with what is the top class media companies around the world. Obviously News Corp and Fox Sports, Globo in Brazil, Televisa in Latin America, all through Latin America, as well as British Telecom in the UK, and there are many, many, many more. And what is so exciting about that is the opportunity to partner with a great global athletic apparel brand, partnering that with a global sports brand, truly what we believe is the only global sports brand, to really make history and change the way people look at our sport, elevate our athletes, and elevate our brand with this new program that we're putting together that I'm going to let Dana outline what we're doing.
Yeah, like Lorenzo said, we've had a lot of milestones over the last 15 years, a lot of things that we've accomplished. When we bought this company, these were all dreams of ours, and now, you know, they're all coming to fruition. And what this really means for us, and more importantly, what this means for the athletes and the sport. This deal that we did with these guys is the largest non-broadcast deal we've ever done. We've done a lot of big deals in the last 15 years. It's the largest non-broadcast deal we've ever done, and every penny of this money goes to the fighters. All the money that we're making in this 6-year Reebok deal goes to the fighters. So every time the fighters step into the octagon and compete, they will be paid just like they were being paid from a sponsor. And everything that sells with their name on it, they get a 20% cut on the back end. So this is really exciting for them. Every time a fighter shows up to one of our events, there will be a package there for them. All of their gear will be there, their clothing, and they will outfit them and their entire crew. So we've always talked about a day where, you know, we go toe-to-toe with all the major sports out there, and now we're there. Now, this was really the last piece of the puzzle, was aligning ourselves with a great sports apparel company. And the sport has evolved so much in the last 15 years, and now you're going to start to see the clothing evolve for training and for fighting the way it has in football and all these other sports. These guys have dedicated an entire team to focusing on building the proper footwear, the proper clothing. You know, it's been a long time coming. We're finally here with great partners. We're very excited.
Awesome, awesome. There's actually another aspect to our relationship beyond creating gear for the the UFC athlete and people who are training like fighters around the world, and that is that one of the first things that brought us together was a simple idea of how we could give back. And we were both introduced to an amazing gentleman named Luke Dowdy, who I'm going to let you hear from in a moment. But he started a charity called Fight for Peace that takes young people in violence-torn areas of the world and teaches them the honorable and noble discipline of fighting, not because they want to become great fighters, but because they need a way to change their lives. And so take a look at this.
Eu, você e ele, todo mundo pede a paz e também direitos iguais. Chega de violência, ninguém aguenta mais. Temente ao Criador, ver o mundo melhorar. Acorde pra vida, liberte desse sonho. Não sou dono do mundo, mas eu queria ser pássaro somente pra voar. Temente ao Criador, ver o mundo melhorar. Acorde pra vida, liberte desse sonho. Eu não sou dono do mundo. Olha, seu doutor, nessa guerra constante e inocente, perdendo a vida é assim.
Isso que eu não gosto. Muito tiro tem.
Eu tenho algo a dizer, explicar pra você, mas não garanto, porém, que engraçado eu serei dessa vez. Para os parceiros daqui, para os parceiros de lá, se você se importa como um homem, será que você mantém...
Lutar pela paz significa pra mim mudança, crescimento, futuro,
oportunidade,
discipline,
motivação,
inspiring,
family environment,
união.
Da luta, como o nome diz.
We're there to show that actually a majority of young people, people who want to do something with their lives and go into full-time education and get a career, and people who actually just want to better themselves and be something in life.
I started Fight for Peace 14 years ago here in the favela, because having boxed before, I just knew that boxing and martial arts, when you combine it with education and personal development, it's just an amazing way to help young people fulfill their potential. It's not been an easy road. I'm sad to say we've lost a number of young people along the way to the gun violence that plagues this community and many other communities like this around the world. But we've grown, and we're now, through local partners, helping hundreds of thousands of young people all over the globe. And it's international partners that are going to help us grow that even more. And that's got to be the dream, taking Fight for Peace to more and more young people to help them fulfill their potential in disadvantaged communities all over the world.
Lutar pela paz significa sozinho, você até chega, mas juntos nós vamos mais longe.
Quem vai querer, quem tem o poder, quem é o sagaz, quem tá na frente, quem fortalece, quem tá com a gente. É questão de quê? É questão do quê? É questão de quê? É questão de quê?
I love that young man. I love that young man's quote in there where he says, together we can accomplish this. And I think that this is exactly the inspiration for our partnership, that a portion of all of the proceeds from our Reebok UFC product will go to support Fight for Peace. And we're going to be sharing with you on another occasion all of the amazing product and gear that we're creating, and we'll also have a chance then to introduce you to Luke Dowdy and the work that he's doing. He mentioned in the video that he's literally touching hundreds of thousands of kids around the world who otherwise wouldn't have an opportunity to really get off the streets and have a better path in their lives. So I think we're both excited about being part of this amazing thing that Luke's created, Fight for Peace. And I know you were down in Brazil recently, Lorenzo, so maybe share a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's exciting. We've come together. We're going to build a great business together, but at the same time, we're going to make a difference in partnering up with Luke in Fight for Peace. I had a personal encounter when I was in Rio de Janeiro for one of our events. Actually went into the favelas, met with Luke, went to the facility, and a couple of things really stood out to me. Obviously, you hear a lot about getting kids off the streets, using martial arts to kind of get their focus in the right direction, because obviously there's a lot of diversions when you grow up in an environment like that, and crime and violence and things of that nature. But the more important thing that I saw was the programs they had from a supplemental education standpoint. Some of these kids just can't get to school, can't go to school, don't want to go to school, but if they're going to be part of the martial arts program, they have to at least take classes at the facility. And then even more important, the interviewing skills and job placement program that they have with a full staff of people helping these kids as they grow up actually have functional jobs and starting to build a career. And that's really where I think they really make the biggest difference. So we're super excited to be a part of it. I can tell you firsthand, after sitting down and meeting with the kids, they know Ronda Rousey, they know Frankie Edgar, they know Chris Weidman. So it's a perfect combination, because these kids growing up look up to our athletes, and we look forward to having our athletes interact with them and helping them, you know, further this and hopefully build out more of these facilities in areas that need them.
Absolutely.
And I've had a ton of experience with this actually in my life, and I don't know if anybody in this room ever has, but when you take kids from these type of areas and you get them involved in combat sports, builds discipline, self-esteem, you know, kids who think they'll never get out of there and they can never do anything, feel like they can accomplish anything when they're a part of a program like this. So we're really excited about it. And before we go to the Q&A portion of this, I just wanted to point out a real visionary, a good friend, somebody who really looked at both these brands and thought that they should be together and would work well together. And we appreciate all his support, his help, and his friendship. Swizz Beatz. Come here.
It was over a brainstorming session having corned beef sandwiches at Schwartz's Deli in Montreal 2 years ago, where Swizz started talking about this combination. And once again, as Dana said, thank you so much for having the vision and fortitude to put us together and really make history here. So.
Yeah, he's been an amazing partner, and he was the guy who thought that we should spend a little more time together, and 2 years later, here we are, so thank you, Swizz. I certainly want to say on behalf of Reebok that we're extremely proud and feel fortunate to be working with such an amazing organization, and look forward to a great ride.
We feel the same way.
Yep. All right, thank you.
Thank you.